all started with a whisper, then came the rumors. Now the whole internet is catching fire over a revelation that has left even the most seasoned Sister Wives fans in total disbelief. MERI Brown, the once legally married first wife of Kody, Brown is now at the center of one of the most shocking developments the show has seen in over a decade. And it's not just about her walking away from the plural marriage. No, this goes much deeper. Word is, MERI has moved in with someone from Robyn's past. Let that sink in. Robyn, Kody's supposed soulmate, the wife he fought to keep close while the others drifted, is now caught in a tangled web of betrayal and unexpected connections, and at the heart of it all, MERI, the same MERI who once stood by Kody's side as his only legal wife, who endured years of emotional neglect and cold shoulders, is now making the boldest move we've seen in years. But it didn't happen overnight, and to understand just how explosive this situation is, we need to peel back the layers one by one. Before we go further, if you're as shocked as we are, hit that like button right now and don't forget to subscribe, because what you're about to hear is only scratching the surface. Now let me ask you this. Do you think MERI is doing this out of revenge or liberation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story is far from black and white. It's a masterclass in emotional fallout, long-held resentment, and the raw chaos that only Sister Wives could deliver. Let's rewind the tape. When Sister Wives first hit the airwaves in 2010, MERI was Kody's only legal wife. Their relationship had history, depth, and what appeared to be a quiet stability. But behind the scenes, things were unraveling. Kody's affections were already shifting. When Robyn entered the picture, everything changed. Kody legally divorced MERI in 2014 to marry Robyn, citing the need to adopt her children. That move wasn't just a legal shift, it was an emotional earthquake. MERI didn't just lose a title. She lost her identity within the family structure. That's when the distance began to grow. And it didn't take long for fans to notice. The cold glances, the awkward silences, the subtle digs during interviews. They were all signs of a love that had long since died, but no one was brave enough to bury it. Fast forward to 2023, MERI finally confirms the end of her relationship with Kody. It's done. Over. No more pretending, no more trying to hold onto a man who stopped choosing her years ago. She steps out on her own. But MERI doesn't just walk away quietly. She begins to rebuild, reclaim, and reimagine her life. She launches her wellness retreat, expands her bed and breakfast business in Utah, and starts appearing more confidently in social media posts, solo, unbothered, and free. But behind the scenes, something else is brewing. Reports begin to emerge that MERI has been spotted spending time with a man from Robyn's past. Not just a casual acquaintance, but someone who once played a meaningful role in Robyn's pre-Kody life. The nature of their relationship, unknown, the timing, suspicious, and the reaction from Robyn and Kody, well, that's where things explode. Now, you might be asking, is this even real? Is MERI seriously involved with someone Robyn once cared about? Here's the thing. TLC hasn't confirmed it officially, but the breadcrumbs are all over the place. From social media interactions to fan sightings to cryptic posts on MERI's Instagram, all signs point to something significant happening behind the scenes. And in the world of Sister Wives, if it walks like drama and talks like betrayal, it usually is. Kody, of course, is completely blindsided. Sources close to the family say he had no idea MERI was even in contact with anyone linked to Robyn's past. And when he found out, let's just say the man who once claimed to be the head of the family was left speechless. It's the ultimate power move from MERI. The woman Kody emotionally abandoned is now rewriting her story with someone who connects her back to Robyn in the most unexpected way. Let me ask you again. Is MERI playing chess while the rest are playing checkers? Smash that like button if you think she's finally getting the upper hand. And if you've been watching since season 1, drop a comment below. What's the biggest moment when you realized MERI was done with Kody? I want to hear your thoughts because your insights fuel this community. And don't forget to subscribe if you love this kind of deep dive drama because we've only just begun. In the next part, we're digging into Robyn's reaction, how she responded when she found out, what her inner circle is saying, and how this shocking twist could fracture what's left of the Brown family forever. Stay tuned because the drama isn't slowing down anytime soon. If you thought MERI's move was shocking, wait until you hear how Robyn reacted. Because when word got to her that MERI was spending time with someone from her past, it wasn't just confusion or surprise, it was total emotional upheaval. According to insiders and fans who've been watching every blink and breath in interviews, Robyn has been unraveling behind the scenes. And here's why that matters. Robyn was never just another wife in the family. She was the chosen one, the favorite, the one Kody legally married after ditching MERI on paper. She was supposed to be the safe space, the protected one. But now, with MERI reaching back into Robyn's own past, that bubble is bursting. Robyn's emotional grip on the family is weakening, and her silence on this particular issue has been deafening. Usually quick to speak up, defend Kody, or clarify her side of things, Robyn has gone unusually quiet. That silence, it's louder than any words. People are starting to talk. Online forums, Reddit threads, even casual viewers are pointing out that Robyn's demeanor in recent scenes has shifted. She looks exhausted, defensive, less composed. And if you've been paying attention to the confessionals, you'll notice that her usual calm and poised delivery is cracking at the edges. It's not hard to imagine why. Think about it. This is a woman who spent years trying to win over the other wives, navigating resentment and suspicion from MERI, Janelle, and Christine. And now, MERI, the one she was most closely aligned with at times, may have just flipped the table. Not only walking away from the family, but walking into the arms of someone tied to Robyn's own romantic history. That's a betrayal no one saw coming. Now, before we go deeper, I want you to pause and drop your thoughts in the comments. Be honest, do you feel bad for Robyn in this situation, or do you think this is karma? Let's talk about it because your take could help shape how this drama is understood by the fan base. And if you're still watching right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button because this is only getting messier. And we have so much more to uncover. Let's go back a few years. Robyn didn't just fall out of the sky into Kody's life. She had a life before Sister Wives, a previous marriage, a different world. And while TLC has never spent a huge amount of time diving deep into that part of her history, it's there. Her ex-husband, David Jessup, was a controversial figure. And while it's unlikely MERI is involved with him directly, there are rumors unconfirmed, but persistent that someone from Robyn's earlier social circle has re-entered the narrative. Someone she was emotionally close to, maybe not a formal partner, but someone who shared space in her past. And now that someone is allegedly sharing space with MERI. You can't write drama like this, it writes itself. And let's not forget how Robyn once viewed MERI. There was a time, especially in the earlier seasons, when MERI and Robyn appeared to have a rare bond. Robyn once said MERI was one of the first to truly accept her, and there were moments where they seemed more like sisters than co-wives. But as Kody's favoritism became more obvious, and as the cracks between the women widened, that bond withered. And what we're seeing now might just be the last gasp of whatever trust remained between them. There's also the question of intent. Is MERI doing this to send a message? Is she trying to get under Robyn's skin? Or is this just a coincidence born out of mutual loneliness and shared trauma? Because let's be real, every single person in this family has been through something. And MERI, she's been emotionally abandoned for over a decade. She was catfished. She lost her legal status. She stood on the sidelines while Kody poured all of his energy into Robyn and left the rest to wither. If she's found someone who makes her feel seen again, even if that person is from Robyn's past, should we really be judging her for it? Or should we be asking why it took so long? Smash that like button right now if you think MERI deserves happiness no matter where it comes from. And tell me in the comments, do you think MERI is still holding on to resentment, or has she truly moved on? Your comments help drive the story forward, and I want to feature the best ones in upcoming videos. Now let's talk about Kody, because Kody's reaction to all of this is just as telling as Robyn's silence. Sources say he was furious, not just hurt, not just confused, but genuinely outraged. And not because he still loves MERI, that ship sailed long ago, but because he's losing control of the narrative. Kody has always seen himself as the head of the family, the one pulling the strings, keeping the structure intact. But now, Christine is gone. Janelle is gone. MERI is making bold moves, and Robyn is emotionally spiraling. Kody is no longer the leader of anything. He's just a man watching his empire collapse one woman at a time. And this new twist, MERI connecting with someone tied to Robyn, was something he could never have predicted. It's not in his playbook. It's not something he can explain away in a talking head segment. It's real, raw, and wildly unpredictable, and that scares him. Because for the first time in a long time, the women are moving on in ways he can't control. And if MERI's next chapter includes someone who reminds Robyn of her past, Kody's grip on the story is completely gone. We're only halfway through this chaos. In the next part, we're diving into what this means for the future of the show. Will TLC use this as a launching point for a new spin-off? Is this the final crack in the Sister Wives brand? Or are we looking at a total rebirth of the narrative, with MERI leading a brand new era of her own making? Stay locked in, because you do not want to miss what's coming next. The moment this story began to unfold, every longtime viewer knew something had shifted. This wasn't just another family disagreement or a temporary misunderstanding. This was a narrative fracture, a clear break from the old pattern. And now the question hanging over everything is simple: what happens next? Because this twist isn't just affecting the people involved emotionally. It has implications for the future of the entire Sister Wives franchise. TLC knows this. The producers know this, and trust me, they're watching MERI more closely than ever. Not just because she's moved on, but because she might be carrying the future of this show on her back. Whether she realizes it or not, let's be honest, Kody's storyline has run its course. His descent into emotional chaos, his favoritism, his inability to maintain any of his relationships except with Robyn. It's all been documented and dissected. Fans aren't interested in hearing him rant about disrespect or loyalty anymore. They're done with the lectures, the double standards, the empty leadership. What people care about now is growth, transformation, and justice, and MERI, whether by accident or design, is delivering all three. She's become the unexpected underdog. The quiet one who endured everything in silence is now the most dynamic character in the entire saga. And if you don't believe me, look at the numbers. The episodes that highlight MERI's departure, her independence, her awkward but brave moments of self-recovery, they're getting traction. People are rooting for her, viewers who once rolled their eyes at her attempts to hang on to a dead marriage are now standing up and applauding her refusal to play the victim any longer. That is narrative power. And it's no surprise that rumors of a MERI-centered spinoff have started to swirl behind the scenes. It's not official, but the interest is real. Just imagine it: MERI running her retreat, rebuilding her business, navigating new relationships, possibly even with someone connected to Robyn's past, all while keeping her head held high and reclaiming her voice. That's a show people would watch. That's a story people would feel invested in. Drop a comment. Right now, would you watch a solo spinoff about MERI's new chapter? Be honest, tell me what you'd want to see in that show. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time to do it, because if that spinoff becomes a reality, you can bet we'll be breaking it down episode by episode right here. Now, let's shift back to Robyn for a moment, because while MERI's future may be glowing with new energy, Robyn's present is starting to look very dark. The emotional toll is visible. Every interview, Every public appearance, she seems more strained. And while she's tried to keep a brave face, defending her marriage, standing by Kody, trying to paint a picture of stability, the cracks are becoming impossible to ignore. And this latest situation with MERI, it's tearing her up inside. Not just because it's personal, but because it forces her to confront something she's avoided for years. She is not in control. Robyn once saw herself as the bridge between Kody and the rest of the wives. The peacemaker, the one who could help him keep the family together. But now, there is no family to hold together. Christine is remarried. Janelle is emotionally done. MERI has moved out and possibly moved on. And Kody, he's a shadow of the man he used to be. Angry, confused, and grasping at a sense of authority that no longer exists. Robyn's world is shrinking. Her influence is waning, and the person she once leaned on for emotional backup, MERI, is now standing across from her, confident, independent, and entangled with someone from Robyn's own past. That's a psychological blow no one saw coming. And let's not forget, Sister Wives isn't just a family, it's a business, a brand, a source of income. Every relationship, every argument, every camera-ready moment has value. So when this kind of twist hits the fan, the producers aren't just watching, they're planning. This isn't the kind of drama you let fade away. It's the kind of twist that can redefine the next season, launch new shows, and shift the power dynamic entirely. And MERI, whether she planned it or not, she now holds that power dot. So again, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think TLC should pivot away from Kody and focus on the wives' solo journeys? Or is there still more story to tell in the old family dynamic? Your voice matters, and your comments are the heartbeat of this community. And by the way, if you're still watching, take a second and share this video. Send it to a friend who's been following Sister Wives from the beginning. Someone who needs to know what's really going on behind the scenes. These twists don't come around often, and they deserve to be seen. We still have parts to go. Next up, we're diving into the timeline of events, how MERI's decision unfolded, who knew what and when, and why this may not be the last surprise coming out of the Brown family's crumbling kingdom. Stay locked in. It only gets wilder from here. By now, it's clear that MERI's move wasn't impulsive. It was deliberate, it was strategic, and it was rooted in years of silence, isolation, and watching everyone else make moves while she stayed stuck in emotional limbo. But here's what most people miss: this didn't start the day she left Kody. It didn't even start when the divorce papers were signed. This started way back when Robyn first entered the family. And everything began to shift in ways MERI couldn't control, because if you've really been watching the story unfold over the past decade, you'll notice a pattern. Every time MERI reached out for a connection, she was pushed further to the edge. And now, she's not just stepping out of the shadows, she's rewriting the rules completely. Let's look at the timeline. MERI and Kody officially ended their marriage in early 2023. But emotionally, the detachment happened years before. In fact, in multiple reunion specials, MERI has openly admitted that she and Kody hadn't been intimate in well over a decade. That's not a marriage, that's a sentence. Add to that the catfishing scandal, which devastated her reputation, made her a target for public scrutiny, and left her even more alienated within the family. Kody never truly forgave her for that incident, even though MERI was the one emotionally manipulated. And Robyn, while she publicly stood by MERI at the time, their dynamic noticeably changed afterward. Something between them cracked, and it never fully healed. Then came the property wars, Coyote Pass. The dream of building separate homes on the land turned into a legal and emotional nightmare. Arguments over who paid what, who owned what, and who would stay connected to the land dragged out over multiple seasons. And when the land finally sold in late 2023, MERI made a clean break. She took her portion, packed up her ties to the family property, and made it clear she wasn't coming back. That was the first real move. But the next step, that's what shocked everyone. That's when the reports started surfacing about her being seen with someone familiar. Someone viewers couldn't place at first, but then the dots started connecting. A face from Robyn's past. Not someone new, but someone whose name had been whispered in fan forums for years, and suddenly, everything changed. Now here's the part that hasn't been aired on TLC, at least not yet. Some sources claim that MERI and this individual began communicating casually through a shared connection in Utah, nothing romantic at first. Just conversation, shared values, common ground, but it grew, and before long, that connection turned personal. The man in question allegedly had ties to Robyn from her earlier years, someone who knew her before she joined the Brown family. And when Robyn caught wind of this, it wasn't just uncomfortable, it was triggering. It forced her to relive a version of herself she left behind, and MERI stepping into that history? That was a line Robyn never expected her to cross. Now imagine this from Kody's perspective. His first wife is now involved romantically or not with someone from his favorite wife's past. That's not just messy, that's chaos. For a man who thrives on control, who has spent years constructing his narrative of moral authority and family unity, this is humiliation. This is the unraveling of the empire he tried so hard to preserve. And the worst part, he didn't see it coming. He underestimated MERI. He assumed she would always linger in the background, quietly hoping for scraps of attention. But instead, she made the boldest move of all. She went to the one place that could shake Robyn and Kody to their core of the past. Let's pause for a second, if you're still with me. Take a moment to drop a comment. Do you think MERI planned this as revenge? Or did this just happen naturally and now it's become something bigger than even she expected? I want to hear your theories because your insights make these breakdowns worth doing. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because part 5 is going to go even deeper. Back to the timeline. After the land sold and the family fractured beyond repair, MERI moved her focus to her business ventures and her retreat, which has become a symbol of her independence. But while she posted smiling selfies and motivational captions, she kept one part of her life off camera, the new connection. That's what makes this moment so potent. MERI didn't flaunt it. She didn't tease it on Instagram stories or drop clues in her captions. She kept it private, which, ironically, is exactly why it hit so hard when it finally surfaced. The MERI that fans mocked for being clingy is gone. What's left is a woman who understands the power of silence, of timing, of emotional restraint, and that's what makes this twist so compelling. Because when someone stops chasing attention and starts protecting their peace, that's when they become truly dangerous to the people who once ignored them. So here we are. The timeline is clear. The pieces are falling into place, and the Brown family, once a tightly wound web of shared beliefs and plural commitments, is now just scattered threads blowing in the wind. MERI is no longer waiting for an invitation to be seen. She's making herself the main character in a whole new story. And whether she ends up officially dating this man or not, the impact is already done. The silence is broken. The shift has happened, and the audience is paying attention. Coming up in the final part, we're going to talk about what this all means going forward. Is MERI setting herself up for a full rebrand? Will Kody and Robyn survive the fallout? And is this the final nail in the coffin for Sister Wives as we know it, or the beginning of something even bigger? Stay with me, because this last part is where it all comes together. And now we've reached the point of no return. Everything that's happened, every moment of silence, every sit-along glance, every betrayal quietly endured has led to this. MERI has emerged from the wreckage of a failed plural marriage, not just intact, but transformed. This isn't the same MERI we saw in Season 1. This isn't the woman clinging to Kody's words, hoping for a seat at a table that was already being pulled out from under her. This is someone who's made peace with the past and decided to walk straight into the future, on her own terms, with no apologies. So what happens next? Well, for one, the dynamic between Kody and Robyn is about to be tested like never before. Up until now, Robyn has been Kody's emotional anchor, The one who made him feel like he still had a family. The one who, despite all the chaos, stood by him while everyone else walked away. But this situation with MERI, it's different. It's personal. It cuts right to the root of her history, her trust, and her control. And if Robyn truly feels threatened by this connection MERI has made, whether it's romantic or not, it could destabilize what's left of her marriage to Kody in ways that no one saw coming. Because let's be honest, Kody thrives on being at the center, on being the reason people stay even when they're hurting. And if Robyn begins to emotionally spiral, if she feels betrayed, confused, and unsafe in the last stable relationship she has, Kody's foundation could crack completely. There may be no one left in his corner. And for a man who built his entire identity around leading a plural family, being left alone is more than sad. It's catastrophic. But what about MERI? What does her future actually look like? Here's where it gets interesting. With this sudden spike in public support, MERI has an opening. Not just to reclaim her narrative, but to build something new, something separate from the Sister Wives franchise, her retreat, her brand. Her storytelling, these aren't just passion projects anymore, they're vehicles, platforms, and if she plays this right, she could be the first from the original cast to fully break away and succeed outside of Kody's shadow. The fans are behind her now, the momentum is real. And if this connection to Robyn's past becomes more public, if MERI steps into that new chapter with confidence and clarity, she could become the face of a whole new conversation around love, survival, and reinvention after religious and emotional oppression. So here's what I want to know from you. Drop a comment right now. What do you think MERI's next move should be? Should she go public with the man she's seeing? Should she write a book, start a podcast, or even launch a new reality series of her own? Don't hold back. I want your honest thoughts, because your ideas might be exactly what she needs to hear. And as we look ahead, let's not forget what this whole journey has been about. Sister Wives was never just a show about polygamy. It was a study in power, in control, in what happens when women are asked to share everything, including their sense of self, for the sake of a man's vision. And now, one by one, those women are walking away, finding themselves, choosing peace over proximity. And MERI, she's become the most surprising example of that strength. So if you've been watching all this time, if you've followed every painful conversation and every awkward sit down over the years, then you know this isn't just a storyline. It's a revolution, and you've been here for it. So hit that like button if you feel like MERI is finally getting what she deserves. And subscribe if you're ready to follow what comes next. Because I promise you, this story isn't over. If anything, it's just beginning. And if you haven't shared this video yet, now is the time. Send it to a fellow fan. Post it in your favorite Sister Wives group. This is the kind of twist people need to see to believe. And the more we talk about it, the more the truth rises to the surface. Whatever comes next, one thing is clear. The days of MERI waiting in the background are over. The woman we once underestimated is now the woman no one can ignore. And whether you love her, hate her, or don't know what to make of her yet, you have to admit she's changed the game forever.